to the Overwatch League, everybody. It is the final day of Stage 2. You just heard Malik say it. Title match spots are still up for grabs, and today we're bringing you 3 incredible matches. I'm your host, Chris Puckett. Today on the desk, we got the babyface Brits and Zoe once again.
Babyface Brit.
Yeah, I was about to say, I haven't heard that one, but I do like it. Today is a very special day, everyone. It's a person's birthday, someone who I personally, as a fellow DPS player, really am looking up to. It's Dante's birthday. Also, Brennan from this desk happened to be born at the same day, so I guess congrats to you as well.
Thank you.
Hey, Brett.
Yes.
Happy Dante's birthday.
Happy Dante's birthday.
Happy Dante's birthday. I know, when you were bigging up the DPS, I was like, yo, I haven't been playing Genji with Zoe. Like, what's she talking about? But no, just throw me left wing.
Dante
Okay. Dante's
Bren,
great, though.
because it's your birthday, we might even let Zoe heal you tonight in our 6 stack. For now, though, we got to look at the overall standings. Now, we're halfway through the season at the end of the day. Just 20 matches left for all of our teams. And as you look at this, who's in the running for our top 6?
I mean, for me, it's really interesting. The Valiant have slipped down to 7th, and Boston Uprising have actually clawed their way up into 6th. And what a disgusting map differential for New York XL as well up at the top there. 42 in the lead.
They're pretty ridiculous, and we get a chance to see New York a little bit later. Not only is New York on top of the overall list, they're also leading our Stage 2 standings. But really today, we're looking to see who is going to finish in the top 3, who gets into those title matches tomorrow. Brennan, it's all going to come down to that last match of the day.
That final game, Puckett, it really all depends on that one match to decide these Stage 2 playoffs and who's going to be landing that 3rd seed, as you rightly said.
It's going to be amazing. Boston, will they be able to play spoilers? We find out at 5 p.m. For now, though, we got to open things up. We got the London Spitfire. We got any London fans here? Well, they're taking on the Dallas Fuel, and I know this is a squad that is a fan favorite. It's going to be a great matchup if we see Dallas play anything like they did against New York. And speaking of New York, well, London is cheering against them today because London can still steal the #1 seed in the bye to the grand finals tomorrow if they're able to get a big win today. They're behind by just 3 maps in Stage 2. They need Valiant, though, to clutch up against New York.
Basically, they need as many maps as they can possibly get here against the Dallas Fuel, and they've also just got to pray to the gods of Valhalla that the Valiant end up taking down New York.
Well played.
Please,
Very
Paula,
impressed.
please. All right, let's take a look at, of course, this London lineup because we saw them using Hago. We saw Closer in the lineup yesterday. Today, it looks like they're going with the team that's had the greatest amount of success.
Yeah, looking at these starting players, they are not holding back anything at all. This is quite unusual. Before, in the past, London, they usually field like a few of the, I guess, B-team players, you could say that, despite the fact that everyone on London is a fantastic player and you could run them as starters. They are not holding back against Dallas today. They are treating them with respect, and they do not want to slip up and make a mistake like New York did in the past.
That's a look at the starting 6 for London, but let's talk about Dallas today because once again, it's Mickey playing alongside Seagull in that tank role.
And this is the lineup that they fielded for the first time against the NYXL yesterday, and they had incredible amounts of success. It went to 5 games. Mickey and Seagull looked so good, and they've been a struggling roster for a while here. But when we took a look at this game and how well they were able to perform, particularly on Lijiang here, the Dallas Fuel looked like they had fixed some of these issues.
Yeah, and I did talk to their opponents, to London Spitfire, about Dallas' struggle. And oddly enough, they didn't mention the tank issue or like anything with the players, really. What they nailed it down to was communication. London said that they're really lucky in the sense that they all speak the same language. And a language barrier within a team where really good and concise calling is of like utmost important, really. Like, tiny little mistakes in communication can really make or break a game. So Dallas, with a more versatile roster in terms of where they're coming from and different languages being spoken, those kind of things are actually needing to be fixed.
We actually applauded Dallas on the show last night. We went into one of their sounds of the game. We piped up the communication, and it was much cleaner. Custa was kind of leading the way. Sideshow, where do you think Dallas lies right now in just the communication field?
I think they've stepped it up massively. I think one of the biggest differences is having Rascal on the field as well. The Genji caller provides somebody in the front line, somebody aggressive, and most teams either have their Winston or their Genji making a lot of those calls. We saw it with Philadelphia when EQO came in. I think with Dallas as well, the fact they have Rascal who can come a lot more and has that kind of game sense really going to help them out.
Dallas today is looking to add another match victory to their column for the overall standings. For London, though, it's about every single map. They're looking for the 4-0, and as we take a peek at our map pool, can they get the job done?
Certainly more than capable, Bucket. But the interesting thing here as well is if you take a look at Dallas Fuel, right, they don't have the best results, but the fact that they've made such drastic improvements in such a short amount of time means that I personally feel you can't put much stock into their actual win-loss records on these maps because they could pull out anything. And London, they cannot slack. They can't slip in this matchup today. They cannot expect to come into this with an easy 4-0. They're going to have to put in everything to actually take these maps and secure that and clinch that #1 seed spot.
And the one map that's going to be the most important is Lijiang. They absolutely destroyed NYXL yesterday, running a really weird May Reaper kind of composition. London have got to be prepared because otherwise they could see their playoff dreams crumble on one map alone.
Bring it out. I want to see it all day. May Reaper, that makes me a happy man. Are you guys ready to get the day started? It's your first match of the day. Dallas London starts right now.
Taking the fight to him, I love to see it.
Dallas needs every moment they can get.
Very solid defense set up here for London Spitfire to kick things off. This could be the turning point here for London Spitfire.
I love the aggressive play from the Fuel, and Mickey just blows him up.
Going to get caught by Heroic, another headshot.
But oh, Mickey with the hook there.
Prophet just charging straight into the pony.
In fact, waited for that one. Perfect placement.
Fist to face. Oh, look at this. Now it's going to turn into a real fight. There we go.
Los Angeles, put your hands together and welcome to the stage. It's the Dallas Fuel. So many Fuel jerseys in the crowd today. Everybody wants to see this squad right the ship, get this team back on track, and walk away with another big win. Can they take down the Spitfire today?
I mean, we will see, Bucket, we will see, but they definitely will be trying. And I have a fun little fact for you guys out here. Dallas roll swap yesterday has, as Bob Ross would say, been a happy little accident. The day before that match they played, Taimu took too long in the bathroom.
Okay.
And that resulted in Seagull having to step in during a scrim game. But because Seagull normally just plays like Diva in his comp games and on ladder, he and Mickey decided to swap as Mickey played Winston. Double roll swap, and it worked out in practice, so they decided, you know what, let's just play it on stage the next day. And here we are.
Yeah, happy accident, and you can just see it's all smiles. Dallas is coming in with the best possible attitude when you have to face off against London.
Yeah, 22 years ago, you know, Bren was a happy little accident. So everything improved over time, you know, and now he's here. And Dallas Fuel are going to be looking to make similar successes on their happy little accidents. It worked out well for them when they played against New York. We'll see how it happens against London.
There's no coming back from that at all, really, is there? That's straight murder on the broadcast. I mean, you're going to be sacked at the end of the day, isn't it? With comments like that, mate. But one player, if I was to point someone out, it would be Mickey on that main tank role. The fact that he's transitioned from the off tank, very impressed with him so far.
Win or loss, he will be smiling at the end of this match. That is the guarantee. That's a look at the Dallas Fuel. It's now time to introduce their opponents. Let's hear it for #2 overall. It's your London Spitfire. 7-2 in stage 2. They dropped their very first match against Houston. Since then, they've been on a roll. 14-5 if you look at their overall regular season record. And this is, of course, your returning Stage 1 champion.
Yeah, this is a team with tons of momentum, and one player in particular is going to be to look at in this game, Gesture. This man is an absolute boss. He pulls out, he doesn't care, right? That's what I love most about him, right? He doesn't really show, you know, he's not quiet, he's not reserved. He goes all out. He knows that he's one of the best tanks in the league, and he just goes all out with multiple picks, especially when he pulled out the Widowmaker the other day. I was absolutely creasing with laughter. Like, the guy just does not hold back in the slightest. No respect.
He's not the most handsome tank. That belongs to another one. Is he the best tank in the game right now, Sideshow?
I believe that it is between him and Fisher. I would say Gesture can play a wider variety of styles. I would put him in the #1 position right now, even though Johnny disagrees.
I like you answering that on the spot. Zoe, what are you expecting from London today?
Oh, you know what? I'm actually not quite sure. I talked to them about their preparation and their game plan coming into this, and they said it's actually a bit hard to prepare against the Dallas, considering they're so unpredictable and hard to prepare strats against, because you never really know what they run. They don't really stick into the meta. They stick to whatever the players feel most confident on, and that can work out for them or it cannot work out for them. It's yeah, left to be seen.
Really only 5 games to look at if you're trying to review footage leading up to today's match. We'll see how the Spitfire handles the Fuel. Are you guys ready to get this match started? All 12 players are at their seats. We got our casters ready. Let's send it backstage. It's Semler and Hex with the call.
All right, thank you so much, Puckett. I mean, Zoe's bringing up a good point there. That's, yes, Dallas Fuel, tough to predict. I was talking to Dallas Fuel while they were in here, and they're like, we have no idea how London Spitfire are going to play. They didn't even run the same roster yesterday. We got nothing to go on.
Yeah, and they have the ability to run all sorts of different routes, so you never really know which Spitfire team you're going up against. A little bit different styles. I mean, Fury's going to be out, so Wu Yal's going to be in, a bit more of an aggressive player. And the tank line for London is really why they're so good right now. I think the story today, I just want to look at Dallas to continue to improve. It was such a great mark for them to have the showing they did. I think this is their best roster, and man, I just really love watching Seagull play the D.Va.
He has really shown on that D.Va. You know, your question marks in terms of like, okay, what level is he going to have? But I'm not even going to steal it from you, Hex. D.Va excels.
Yeah, when D.Va's done her job, it's almost like she's done nothing at all. And I think that Seagull is perfect on this kind of hero too. It's not mechanically demanding, but it's really a hero that lets your game sense shine the most. If you know the game and know where you need to be at all times, then D.Va's the hero for you. You can hard carry, and it seems like you didn't do much. And I think it's perfect for Seagull. Reminds me a little bit of Cool Matt. Always there on the spot, exactly where he needs to be. And I've read something about, he mentioned, it's like, just go with your gut and find it. And when you have the game sense and the gut that Seagull has, that's a perfect way to play D.Va.
Well, we'll see what they have in store for us here to kick things off on Volskaya. Of course, his check marks are rather question marks across the board in terms of what heroes we're going to see coming out from both of these rosters. At least, you know, London Spitfire, it's a little bit more predictable. Gesture will be that main tank, for example. You know, Prophet as well on the Tracer to start things off by the looks of it. But now we get to go over to the Dallas side and see what they have cooking.
Yeah, see what they want to run in offense. Always hard to predict here, but you have to imagine it's going to be Seagull on the D.Va. Mickey will run a variation of main tank. You really don't see two off tanks very often, even though right now he's on the Roadhog, which might be fun to see. Just so funny to me that how this roster came together was that someone was taking too long in the bathroom. Because to me, like, Envious has been notorious for having long bathroom breaks when we used to do, like, home tournaments. Be like, we need to get Envy in the lobby, and, like, you know, Hulk would be like, well, Harry Hook's on the can right now. Always calling out his teammates, so the old Envious roster now transitioning to the Dallas Fuel roster, always tied with their bathroom breaks, and has been serendipitous for them. Let's see what they want to run out here now. It does seem like right now, no main tank. Mickey last second swap over. And interesting enough, Rascal on the McCree. Could be fun to watch.
To kick things off. And yes, Rascal definitely no slouch when it comes to hitting headshots. Looking forward to him. And well, just keeping an eye on this. Who will play Soldier today? We have a little bit of a tidbit there at the bottom right in terms of Soldier. But hey, you know, when you've got Rascal on the roster, just let the man work the McCree. Let the man hit the headshots. We do have a little bit of counter coming through here, or at least a poke from the Spitfire as we make our way through.
Yeah, full on rotation. This would deny any sort of Sombra play. Of course, Sombra not on the field. It also forces Birdring to go to the other side, and these sightlines are not as good as trying to catch a team on the way in. Now it's where do they rotate from here? You've taken the position you want, but now do you step out into Birdring sightlines? Really no good counter to Birdring except for the tank play. Already, Prophet gets the back line, takes down Chips. Continue to push. Birdring with another kill. That's 2 quick kills, and Dallas has to signal the retreat here.
Bit of a reset coming through. Rascal trying to get that last pot shot in there. Unfortunately for him, he will not connect it. Now he's at risk of getting overwhelmed. And yes, he will. The stagger is there as well, further delaying things here for Dallas Fuel. Minute burned off the clock. Birdring's already got the infrastrike for the next push. So things shaking up pretty nicely here for London Spitfire. Actually, we will even just see the straight change coming out of Dallas Fuel. They're not going to waste any more time on it.
It makes a ton of sense. How are you ever going to get to Birdring with these sightlines with a hero like McCree? It's just a bad matchup. McCree versus Widow is not exactly the situation you want to put yourselves in. So they're going to rotate, put a Genji on there. Genji very good at least harassing. Widow can go with the tanks and run a dive with them. He's a big part of the dive. He's like a half tank for that deflect up. Chips dies first again. That's twice in a row.
That's so tough, and that's clearly part of the game plan. Something that you could have picked up watching Dallas against New York was that Chips was the focal point there. Get into that back line, assassinate Chips, then worry about the rest later. And you see it all just happen again and again here where Prophet, he's clearly just waiting for Gesture to be like, right, let's go. Okay, kill him.
It's why they've been so good, is that the Winston and the Tracer always show up at the same place at the same time. And I think that maybe it's time to start rotating Effect around just to draw some fire there. They've been going into this team with their full focus on them, losing people early on. And the moment that they notice that Chips is alone, they simply jump him in the back line. So either you need a counter dive or something along this line, but they're getting dove on immediately
Pulse bomb into the thick of things as well, just adding to the chaos. And they won't even let Mickey get out with his life. You've got two squishies stuck in a room, and a big mech Diva's looking for him too. Rascal, dash has been used, Prophet assassinates him. And so far, it's looking fantastic here for London Spitfire. Everything going according to plan for them.
First to die again was Chips. It's been really rough for him. It's not necessarily his fault. It's never really wholly the Zenyatta's fault. He's just been the focus of their fire. They have banked up 2 support ultimates. Same on the other side of things, though, as well. I mean, the problem is also, if they get a first kill, they have to get a first kill out in the open because London is running the Mercy on defense. So it's technically like a 7v6 if you get a resurrection off.
Yeah, that's the appropriate reaction. And oh, there you go, you even lose it. If Effect is on his own, doesn't matter when Birdring is setting it up for his team to see through walls. No hiding from this man. Gesture, tasing him. Mickey under fire, has to back off, has to try and get back to his healers to keep topped up. Rascal's just gonna get overwhelmed. He can't reflect the lightning.
Yeah, and Effect got to Birdring, but it doesn't matter because Widow's always in a spot where she's going to be resable. They weren't going to get Birdring again, a dive in on there, so they take this fight back. Want to stay out on it. Prophet's going to force out the Transcend.
Oh, there's the stick. That could work. It'll cut right through that Transcend. Too much damage to be negated. And Chip saying, pistol to the face, get out. Seagull, just chuck yourself into the icy waters. It's time to take a bath.
Absolutely brutal there, and now time is running out. They don't have time for a full reset. We're at 5 seconds. Can somebody even get on the point? It's only Rascal up. It's on the Genji's deflecting, trying to get towards the point. Will get a blade kill, but all for not completely shut down that Dallas offense.
He was just gonna get what he could out of that situation, Hex. He could have dove into 6 people on the point, or you can just kill Birdring. I like it. Focus on Birdring, get that stat.
Yeah, good job, Rascal. The 1 kill in the game. You got 1 kill.
Got 1 final blow.
That was completely one-sided. The only person to die on the other team was Birdring. Died 3 times, actually. 2 of those within very short order got resurrected and died again, but no one else going down. This is what makes London so difficult. It's like, there's no one player you can take away. It's such a complete team. It's like, oh, we got Birdring. Well, then Prophet gets 2 kills. I mean, where do you even focus your attention on this team? I think you start maybe try to get to the backline. Effect was trying to get there maybe a little earlier on. Maybe a little more harassment would have helped out, but now very easy road for London. Just take 33% of first point of Volskaya, you got a map win.
Everything coming together nicely here for London. Pretty much what we expect to see.
They're still trying to take maps. I think there's a chance they can overtake the #1 seed. And last time London, I mean, we've changed the playoff format since then, but London had to play all day last time. They don't want to do that again, so they would absolutely love the first seed here. Gonna try to get the 4-0 to get it going. Dallas on the defense will put a Mercy on the field in the form of Custa. Of course, always important to get that resurrection mechanic. But a lot of offenses are running it too, so that when they do rotate to one of these rooms, which is where the fight's always gonna happen, if they lose someone on the way in, it doesn't force a full reset. You can still fight 6v6.
You can try and get that res off, exactly. That does require a little bit more teamwork to make it work now. You need your tanks to body block. Hell, we've even seen body blocking Zenyatta's covering the Mercy while she got the res off. So I don't mind the res so long as there is some element of risk or teamwork going into it.
I do like how London has played this, though, with the aggressive defensive dives, and I think that was going to be the strategy as soon as they put Wu Yal in, who's the more aggressive of the D.Va players. You saw him getting micro-missile kills there as well, and they just don't ever want to give Dallas a chance to set up. London is dictating how the game is played.
Oh, there's the opening. Rascal already having to back out, and Rascal gets overwhelmed immediately. Headshot from Birdring to kick things off. Custa will be able to get the res off, but that's the res already used now. Dallas Fuel, your backs are against the wall. You got to get it done, and Chip saying, that's going to feel sweet indeed. Finds the kill on Prophet. Finally, some revenge.
Yeah, when a Tracer dies too, it's almost always a non-resable situation. It's just how Tracer gameplay is. You're always out in the middle of it. Now they're going to have to back up just a little bit. The Venom Mine is going to show them where Rascal is. A little surprising Dallas wasn't punished for holding this far forward. You almost never see teams hold this far forward because a full 6 just can be able to collapse on you.
Only reason Chip survived that is because he jumped halfway out in the open. Got the body shot instead of the bullet to the dome. But Birdring, he's got eyes on Rascal, knows that he's up there. Looking for the pot shot, he'll get the body. And now they know that the Tracer's looking for the flank as well. And so it's a matter of Birdring trying to just stay alive. He's getting all the healing, and he actually maintains. Gesture wins the fight versus Mickey in the chaos. And now Birdring on his own, free to hunt for a target, finds the 1, gets the 2nd, but he's not charging it fast enough, needs the 3rd as well.
That's so hard with the sustain that a Mercy has in that situation. Gesture's brought back up. They finally harass Rascal, and that might be it as Birdring and Nuss fall. You have to think the offense needs to reset here.
You gotta think that, except that Custa gets caught in the corner. Both supports dead. Gesture, that's a fantastic position for him. He's like, oh, you got a blade? I got fists. Primal Rage here. Just running over Rascal and London Spitfire. It's so classic Hex. You think, oh yeah, they should reset. They're like, actually no, we'll just kill them all.
It's London and New York do this exact same thing. New York more appropriately on defense, where you think it's over and they can't come back and win it. They will jump back on the point. Offensively for London, when you think it's over, Gesture is still there, gets himself a 3K to close it out, and a very fast first map win for the London Spitfire.
As good as it gets for London. Excellent start for them, looking to close out this series 4-0 and lock down that playoff spot without a doubt. They are on their way, and it's on Dallas now to try and come up with a working solution here to take the Spitfires to drop them out of the air.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
The London Spitfire have a 1-0 lead over the Dallas Fuel, and they're that much closer to securing that #1 spot. Now, we've been talking about playoff implications the entire week, or title match implications, and who's going to make it, and what the seeding is, and all that stuff. So for those of you who are still confused, let's take a look at how exactly it works.
As the Overwatch League enters the final week of Stage 2, it's time to get you set for the stage title matches. First, here's how it all works. The Overwatch regular season is broken into 4 5-week stages. At the conclusion of each individual stage, we have the stage title matches, pitting the top 3 teams in the standings against each other. For teams with the same record, the tiebreakers are cumulative map differential, followed by head-to-head map differential, then head-to-head record. On Sunday following the end of Stage 2, the second and third place finishers will face off, with the winner taking on the #1 team for a chance to take the title of Stage Champion. So, what's at stake other than bragging rights? Try $100,000 to the winning team and $25 grand to the runner-up. The competition has taken Overwatch League to a new level, and this week's Stage 2 title matches will reveal who rises to the top.
All right, so there it is, clearing up how these playoffs work. Hex, you're gonna have to explain it to me because I still don't understand. But that's fine. What I do understand is that Gesture is a goddamn monster. Looking at the stats after that first map, it's actually bonkers how hard he is hitting Dallas right now.
I mean, he flexed over to DPS yesterday, but it's almost, giving him Tesla cannons much better than the Widow Scope. He did so much damage. The tanks are nearly leading the damage, both at about 4,000. Only Prophet even kind of kept close to them, but Wu Y'all led damage for that team. I mentioned he's a more aggressive diva. He's got 5,000 damage going.
He didn't die a single time either.
Didn't die a single time. Prophet didn't die a single time either. Well, actually, I think he died once. Yeah, Padoshan didn't die a single time, as opposed to Chips on the other side of things. Then Gesture just finds those two in the corner, just sits there and zaps them. You know he's smiling.
I'd love to get a camera on Chips right now just so we can see, because he's just sitting over there thinking, why does Doshin have it so good? what are they doing for Doshin? Why is he not dying? Why am I dying 6 times?
A little Zen envy.
Right now, it's a tough one. It's a tough one where Dallas are having to figure this out because their backline are getting mauled time and time again. Whereas London, they just keep managing to just push forward. These tanks, uber aggressive, able to just crank out DPS, and then you've got Prophet and Birdring just laughing to town.
You know, the crazy thing is, like, you watch the tanks be very aggressive there on Assault, but then, like, when we switch over to Escort and Hybrid, they're always just chilling on the cart. They don't allow anything. They become this permanent wall of defense, so, like, they can just flip a switch. London's got all these different styles they play, which makes them a nightmare to try to game plan for.
That's why they're the Stage 1 champs, and going into the Stage 2 playoffs tomorrow, they're definitely favorites. They are a team to be terrified
of. New York still exists, so I don't know about favorites just yet, but London's beaten New York. You're right, absolutely. Head-to-head, they've definitely been the better team. London's trying to get that #1 seed. It starts with a 4-0 here if they can pull it off, but now we're going to Lijiang Tower. Control Center was awesome to watch yesterday. We got Reaper and May, and oddly enough, they're probably getting buffed soon too, so we'll see that. But we're going to kick it off here on Night Market, which means we'll very likely see some Soldier 76, and we'll be Birdring running that Soldier 76.
Birdring with a heavy pulse rifle, looking to pound Dallas Fuel. It is going to be Dallas Fuel running that classic standard dive. Rascal on the Genji, Effect off on his own, doing his thing. But it is going to be the fight. The engage comes through now. As we have Gesture looking for an angle, he's looking to tase Rascal. He's keeping the pressure up on him. Rascal not quite having the space there. Nuss there to back him up as well. And in the meantime, Prophet taking the fight, or at least trying to, around the point itself.
Yeah, he's just been crushing Chips. They are going to have to give up this first point for free, though. Chips did die again. Prophet in the back line. They're going to know he's there to spam pressure, but he's got Seagull very low. Seagull out of mech.
Oh, that's super sick. That is so value. Now there's no Diva, there's no D-Matrix to stop these guys from rolling through. Chips saying out on his own again. Somebody hold this man's hand. Get him the school bus that can at least deliver him safely to the point.
It's just been difficult. I mean, this is exactly what happened when New York faced Dallas as well. Sabiobi was just all over Chips in the back line. Prophet's going to find Rascal there towards the end. And, you know, I don't necessarily know the answer for this, because when you dive, you're leaving your Zenyatta alone to try to defend himself. And against London, I don't know if that strategy is going to work. Maybe fake a dive, bait the dive in, come back, have your tanks there and try to take an uneven fight in that situation. But it seemed like the strategy was to shut down Birdring. The problem is Prophet still exists as well.
Prophet, Gesture with y'all. They got it all right now, London. All right. So the Dallas, oh no way! He finds it again, nearly. You could see Seagull with the D-Matrix hunting for the pulse. Doesn't cancel it, but no stick for Prophet means that Chips lives to see another day. Seagull under heavy pressure now, though, getting D-Max already. There's the tack visor from Birdring. Seagull with the double, though. Birdring and Prophet out in the open, just getting caught.
Those are two heroes with mobility that absolutely should not be caught in that situation. I think they were trying to both clean up the pilot Diva in that situation. Perhaps a little bit of greed, punished for it. It looks like Dallas will eventually evict them, but there's the Primal Rage, there's Gesture. As long as Gesture alive, the fight's not over. Here comes a self-destruct from London, still trying to get on here. They're just milking it for percentage points.
They're gonna hang in here as long as possible, just really make them work. They keep funneling in one after another. That's got them at least another 15%.
I did bait out some ultimates as well. Mickey with a very late Primal Rage, not going to have that up for the next fight. It's a nice pulse bomb there. Is going to get
Yet again.
Seagull out of mech again, yeah.
And as far as London are concerned, they get that. Oh, the kill though. FX coming up with the money shot right there. Takes down Prophet. That's going to slow things down here for London. He had to come up with something big because you know London, the last time they got the D-Mech on Seagull, they just run onto the site because they know there's no D-Matrix there.
Oh, that's why the target priority is Seagull right now, because you're running a Soldier 76 and his natural enemy is going to be the Defense Matrix and the D.Va right there in his base. So if you can get the D.Va out of mech, it makes Soldier 76's job that much easier, and you can definitely tell that's Prophet's primary target.
Well, Effect now, man, really making the difference here for Dallas. Pulse bomb onto Gesture, high value target, laid low yet again. Woo Hyul taking some fire as well. And they've managed to tie things up now, Dallas. First point, this would be a massive win for them if they could pull it off. Actually gonna throw in the trance here. Doshin not holding back, Birdring wanting the space to get that tac visor in play, but Chips with the good trance to cancel him out.
Chip's able to take down Gesture too, so this fight's even, but Birdring on the flank. One clips and then here's a Helix to the dome.
Oh, that was beautiful. Prophet there as well. Rascal, well, you can reflect all you want, but you're gonna die just the same. They're up to 86. 87% is where it ends for Dallas, which is pretty solid. If they can win the next fight, that's gonna make it very difficult for London to get back into this.
Birdring clearly remembers the days when Rockets used to headshot, hits him right in the face. Get that going now, and now it's down to the last fight. 80% for each team. That's a huge kill, though. Doshin a little too big for his britches there. Gets punished by Custa.
If they could get the follow-up on Chips Seagull, though, this time, well, never mind. Gesture, it doesn't matter if you got D-Matrix. He can still stomp you flat. But we will have this, exactly, Dallas Fuel with the sound barrier thrown into the mix, trying to get some survivability going. Mickey gets pinned. Woo Hyul gets the self-destruct on Seagull as well, and now it's just the Prophet show.
Prophet's going to be on the cleanup. His tanks are there to get everybody low, and he will just feast on the remains. Night Market will go the way of the London Spitfire. And if you're Dallas, I think you got to be praying to RNGesus. You get to control center here.
You got 50-50 chance. And it is going to be control center. Oh, wow, they're so lucky. All right, they managed to get it. So Dallas, they've got that fighting chance. We'll see if they decide to get that May back into the fight. I already see Rascal queuing up on May.
Yeah,
we get the Reaper combo in there as well.
The question is this kind of a one-shot strategy where it works out once and you surprise a team and then other teams are like, oh, let's just not do what the other team did. It's very difficult, though, against a May in this point particularly because it's all small hallways, making walls. Effect yesterday was on the Reaper. Today he'll be on the McCree. An unorthodox composition coming out as Mickey also on an off tank. You're looking for the picks here. You get the hooks, you get the headshots, you get the walls. All you need is some cleanup here, and Rascal's been so fun to watch on that.
He has been. He's hit excellent walls. At least that's what we saw yesterday versus NY.
Oh, but look at London. They're just not going to deal with it. They're going to go to the only open space on the map off of the bridge here. So smart.
Whoa, nice hook, though. This could get nasty. Nusk pinned in the corner. Effect with the body shot gets the job done. And so Dallas Fuel, they look like they are going to be able to pick up this point once again. Woo Hyul not even going to tap it. He's just going to go back, gather up with his mates. Birdring has been caught as well.
Absolutely cleaned up. And London had a strategy to play against this to try to get an area where walls are less effective. They still got a wall and then get the first kill on a support. Very nice. And now you got to worry about the cleanup. Prophet's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, man, Mickey with the money hook at the start as well. That was big. It's like, okay, yeah, you guys are going to come through the big open space. I'm just going to chuck a hook in there, go fishing, see who comes out. Effect's dying to Doshin, though. Could be a big opening. Birdring is still lurking near to the point. He can try and put some presence on there. He's going to go for Chip Saiyan. Chip Saiyan nearly one clipped. Gets the trance out just barely in time to stay alive.
Prophet was working with his DPS duel to take down Rascal. They do just that. Chips and Mickey will fall in short order just after. It should be London flipping it back over. It's only Baby D.Va on the points. Not the best stall hero in the world.
Okay, now do they get camped again? Because we've seen this backfire on Fuel.
Well, it's so much of Control Center is about, is your composition good at taking control or maintaining control? Dallas's composition is very good at maintaining control. That's a huge hook, and the follow-up there. They are going to self-destruct, though, and here comes the rest of the team.
Pinned in the corner, Effect with the Deadeye, though, able to trade it back. We will have the Blizzard thrown in, and there's the value from Rascal. Sets it up for his team to just go running onto the point. Effect double taps Doshin, and we will have Dallas fighting back.
Blizzard's a ridiculously good ultimate. Do you think the company's gonna make a game, make an ultimate named after them, and it's not gonna be that good? It's always been so strong, and especially on control, because it generally covers the entire control point or the hallways leading up to it. There is nowhere to go there, and then that makes everyone's job so much easier to get all the cleanup there. Nice opening kill, though, from Prophet. Takes down Chips.
Yeah, Prophet, both of the squishies. And then you have both supports dead as well as Gesture. Pounds custard of paste. Mickey not going to be around long either. It's all going to be on Seagull to try and last as long as possible.
Yeah, yet again, Diva's good in the mech to stall, not so good out of the mech, and also just never good in a 1v5 situation there. They had to invest some ultimates there. Did London end up using Primal Rage? They're going to be getting towards a Blade, though, as well. Rascal has switched off of the Mei. They've transitioned into a full dive composition. He's over on the Genji. But, yeah, I mean, it's the time to make a switch if you're going to, because you have time to get ultimates up.
Yes, exactly. There's still time to work with here. London Spitfire have quite a bit of ground to cover. Only just now crossing 50%. Prophet in the open. Has to be a little bit careful, trying to find an angle to work with here. If he can just connect a few shurikens, he'll have that blade, and then he can really start hacking them to bits as the sound barrier gets thrown in by Custa. A lot of HP here on the board for Dallas Fuel, but there is no chance. And with Chips dead, nothing there to save Custa.
Chips died very early on there, too, and that's a very ambitious target there from Prophet on the Genji to get in there, because if you get booped away without killing that Lucio, that blade is completely dead. You need to get the kills to get the dash resets. It's actually kind of interesting, the composition that they're running. Bird Ring on Tracer, Prophet on the Genji, of course, both very capable on, well, a multitude of heroes.
One of the advantages, what makes London Spitfire so powerful, the depth of their hero pool. It's limitless, it feels like sometimes. Birdring is looking for that pulse. There it is, the little tap, gets the pulse bomb, spots the squishies. Could commit to it, but he has been trying to stick the tanks more often than not, it seems.
You got Discorded there too, so that flank was essentially shut down by that ability. You can see where your Discord orb is. He wins that 1v1 though, on effect. Force out the Transcendence on the point from Dallas.
Could decide to go for it. Here we go. Rascal, it's his time to shine. One high-value target. Notion is gone. Chip Sayan has been traded back, but Seagull removes Gesture. That's a big piece of the puzzle gone. 95% here for Dallas, and London Spitfire left with very little time here to act.
It's a huge fight win, and they're going to get on the points. This is so good, but Prophet goes down.
Yep.
Birdring very low, has to get out. Wuyao just barely gets their desperation time. Gesture's going to be back in the mix, though, and he's got Primal.
Yeah, Birdring is still alive here as well. If Custa goes down, that's going to be big. Custa's out of it. And now it's on Chip Sayan here, trying to keep him alive. He's swapped over to Moira, really crank out the heals. Woohyall looking for the survive as well as he gets D-Max. Gesture now on the point.
Gotta stay on the point. They are able to take effect out of this fight. Tracer's so good at the cleanup that having a Tracer alive on your team is huge. Chips has made the switch over to Moira and will get a leaping Gesture. Dallas pulls it back.
Fantastic work from Dallas. Effects with a strong start. Chips with the effective change at the end there. Moira, more survivability than Zen, cranking out that AoE heals.
Well,
made the difference.
Faster get to the point, too. Zen is so slow getting back to the point. No turbo boosters on that Zen floating ability. But Moira just shifts through. Such a quick cooldown. He can often double shift to a point. Gets there just in time. Gets the lock on onto Gesture. Gesture was going for the big pack. He stays in that fight. You never know.
Yeah, you never know exactly. That was the money shot right there. At 10 seconds, and we will be getting into the action here, as it is going to be Prophet on the Soldier, Birdring on McCree. Curious to see if Rascal decides to stay on the Pharaoh.
Well, he's going to for one life. It'd be really interesting if they see it right away and he just turns back.
Yeah.
Because this is not a good situation for a Pharah, especially without a Mercy. Looking for the concussion early, well eaten by Woohyall on the other side.
Covering it. Potion kills Chip Sayan. That is so unfortunate for Chips. He just can't catch a break. Custa's dead as well, and that pretty much ends it here for Dallas. As Prophet is under fire, Rascal doing a lot of damage there. Manages even to get the pack to keep himself alive in this fight.
Meanwhile, though, London has definitively won the ground battle. Birdring is going to dispatch Rascals, trying to get a little cute there, go under and then over. Not going to be the case. Rascal is in spawn. Will he stay on this far against a double hit scan from London? Nope, he goes to Genji.
Yeah, changes it up immediately. That resets his ult, and so he is down for the count for now, at least. Effect has worked his way up nearly to a pulse bomb, so we'll see when he decides to get that in there. And out in the open right now with no Pharah to worry about. They just want to have these long sight lines to just pound in the damage. Prophet even launching into Helix, nearly clips one. They will get the flip, Dallas, but now it's about winning the fight. London Spitfire This is one of the strategies in their playbook. It's to let them get the point and then crush them in the fight.
Yeah, I think Dallas is smart to just take it because they know that's exactly what London does. London will give you points for free, but hope that you engage in a bad fight. That starts off poorly. Rascal falls.
But Birdring getting clipped by effects. That's big. Prophet still staying alive. Decides to throw in the attack visor here. Angles, however, he doesn't have a whole lot of targets to work with. Would love to find some squishies. Instead, they're all hiding behind the corner. And there's the trance negating it. Chip Sayin playing it so patiently. Will keep his teammates alive.
That's a really nice trance. He was able to keep Seagull, who was on the brink of being DMAC'd, into this mix, and that completely negates Prophet's damage. Rascal will get the dash. Prophet down in full retreat for London. And you know, like that tactic works. It's like, oh, you can have the point, but we're gonna win a fight. But then Dallas just chose not to fight for as long as possible.
Yeah, they really just hung back. That was excellent. Nearly up to 50%. The DMAC on Seagull would be big. We will have the self-destruct. Will he all just getting right onto the point? Rascal, you can't reflect that, unfortunately for you. You are still gonna take the hurt. But Prophet changed over to Tracer, and he's nearly halfway to a pulse bomb already. He's just tearing away with this.
Yeah, unfortunately, Reflect does not work on melee attacks because that's just a little too much of quit hitting yourself, right? It's a deflect, but you don't end up punching your own face when you try to punch a deflecting Genji.
How sick would that be, though? It'd be like the ultimate bully.
Yeah, because that's what Genji needs. He needs Reflect to be more powerful. You're right. Good call.
No, I think so.
Good call.
I don't think that he's strong enough, X.
I think as soon as you hit that ability, you should just win the game.
It certainly feels that way. Chips picks yet again, left behind. An afterthought, the sound barrier thrown in here, but they're already a man down. Make it two. Mickey is dead. Rascal trying to make the difference, and he does find Birdring. Unfortunately for him, he will not live to tell the tale. Ocean hunts him down with the volley. And it's looking very much like London Spitfire are going to be able to flip this point and start making some progress.
Yeah, they've taken it back. Dallas almost took it there in a second. So next fight will occur, and both teams should be just about tied up here. Take a look at the support ultimate situation, always so important on these maps, especially. Chips is going to have Transcend, and that is the only support ultimate on the field, but Deadeye can be very good. People get a false sense of security in that Transcendence, but burst damage kills you through that feeling.
There it is, wasting not a moment. Birdring looking for the shot, not going to find anybody, but Prophet gets the DMAC on Mickey. That's huge. And we already have the kills just raining through. Seagull, clean.
Yeah, Ruyal sent someone off the edge as well. It's such a great ability for D.Va to be able to knock people off. That's why this map is so difficult to take back, because you either rotate through Pack Room and then you're stuck in a small hallway, Pulse Bomb Fiesta's happening over there, or you have to go over the bridge against at least two heroes who can very easily knock you off. Now Jester's got Primal, another knockoff ability, so they're going to have to rotate through Pack Room, try to get some pressure on this point. Seagull's the first there.
Yeah, Seagull just poking in here, just trying to take a look. D-Matrix has been used up. They've already got them in the back line, though. Jester is just pounding Chip Sayin into the ground. Custa could follow, but the focus fire is great there from Dallas Fuel. They waste Jester despite the fact that he went Primal, so there's a real chance here. Until Seagull, just left alone on the site, dies horribly. And now it's Mickey who's hanging on by a thread. Not for long.
Yeah, it's because Mickey was so low, he was unable to help Seagull out there, and the tanks end up getting themselves picked apart one by one. Desperation time. Effect does his best, gets two.
It's not going to be enough. Wick birds down, and it will be the London Spitfire surviving on control despite Dallas's best efforts. They take a 2-0 lead going into the halftime. Just to remind you all, in terms of getting to that first seed going into the playoffs, they need a 4-0 here, London. So they've set themselves up very well to get just that.
The control center was going to be Dallas's stage. I thought maybe they could sneak another one and take a map here. Not going to be the case. Dallas has looked much better lately, but London is proving that they are still the cream of the crop. We're going to go at halftime, see what the Dallas has to say.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
We've seen 2 games, and so far, Wooyall, the diva from the Spitfire, only has 2 deaths. Spitfire taking care of business as they enter halftime with a 2-0 lead. Welcome back, everybody. It's Puckett here at the desk. I got the crew with me once again. The young Brit's getting a little bit older today. It's Brent on his 22nd birthday alongside Sideshow once again.
Birthday. It's not his birthday.
It's not your special day.
I don't feel
When are you turning 48?
in like 26 years' time. Don't know why you would bring that up. Really weird.
Yeah, your older girlfriend is very excited about it. Let's talk about video games, though. And I want to actually go back to the most recent game we just saw, because Lijiang Tower, so close. In Sideshow, you said this was a map that you expected Dallas to excel on.
Well, yeah, I thought if they were going to win a map this series and play spoiler to the London Spitfire, it would be on Lijiang. They've looked pretty good on control. London a little slippery, like Nuss as well. and they have this really nice May Reaper composition. And you got to say, when they started out here, Dallas just playing raw dive, able to almost take it on the first stage, and then the Rascal special.
Yeah, Rascal, he was playing this entire series like he was fueled on the rage from being cut from his previous team, right? Because that's something that we neglected to mention, is the fact that Rascal used to be on the London Spitfires. You know, he was actually on that roster when they were playing in the Stage 1 playoffs, and then he moved over to Dallas Fuel. He was a bit upset that he wasn't really in the starting lineup as much. And now, I mean, he's been pulling out these unique niche picks, and he's been having great success with them. And he was one of the stars in the Lijiang game. Unfortunately, not quite doing enough to really assist his team in getting the win. But.
Sure, but he put up a great individual performance. I think he's a really good pickup for the team, an asset in terms of communication and how he just individually plays, and he brings so much like random stuff that they can use.
We know Dallas is constantly evolving, right? Great to see Rascal in the lineup, and love seeing the new compositions you can run with him in the mix. So you got a better game in game number 2, because game 1 was pretty much a blowout. This was London from start to finish, and let's start here with, of course, Bird Ring on the Widowmaker, Prophet running Tracer on defense.
This is a big testament, I think, to the fact that London Spitfire are very good at exploiting minor weaknesses that aren't actually immediately visible, right? Because Dallas looked, you know, they looked like they had good cohesion throughout the game. They were trying to go for these well-executed dives and setting them up, but there was just little moments of sort of hesitation in their movements, and they immediately jumped on it. London were not holding back in the slightest. Their dive was actually super crisp. They were not letting them get any sort of positioning whatsoever in the buildings, and that was really the major downfall for me, at least personally, watching that game as it was playing out.
We were talking about Rascal and how he's been traded over to the Dallas Fuel, and he didn't get that much play time when he was on London Spitfire, and that's just because this DPS duo is overpowered. Someone needs to nerf it. The fact that you have Prophet and Birdring playing alongside each other, before they came into Owl, both were in the consideration for best Tracer in the world, best DPS player in the world. They have crazy deep hero pools. Like, you put these guys together, this is such an asset for London Spitfire.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter who's playing the Tracer. You know, when you watch London, their dive is going to be on point. That cohesion between the Winston and the Tracer, so deadly. In Sideshow, they're showing us how to do it perfectly, at least in map number 1.
They absolutely are, and I think that it would be fair to say that London Spitfire have the best Winston Tracer combo in the league, so I'm going to show you an Insights powered by Intel to demonstrate how this works, because London Spitfire, they're a pretty aggressive team, even though they only really dive a lot of the time with these two guys, they're Tracer and Winston. A lot of other teams, they'll run the Genji, but as you can see, they have Birdring over here sat on the Widowmaker, and the rest of their team kind of playing around him. So you've got this core 3 at the back line. Woohyall, who can move either towards the front to help or peel backwards. That's up to him, but it's the guys here, as I said, the Winston and the Tracer that you want to keep your eyes on. So because Dallas Fuel have set up on this long flank, look how sneaky they are. Avoiding any sightlines, Gesture and Prophet work all the way around so that they can't even tell them. Yep, a little crouch walk, and they're trying to hit the back line. And just the 2 of them, they wait and they burst straight up onto Chip's Iron. So at this point here, they have just annihilated one player, and the next play for the guys from London Spitfire is to get out as fast as possible. They don't want to get stuck in a situation where the Dallas Fuel are just going to turn around with everybody else and focus down those 2 players. It doesn't make sense to trade 1 for 2, even if you get Chip's Iron. But as soon as they escape here by Gesture just leaping out and getting to the rest of his team, they can fight this in a 6v5 situation. So this is them being able to sneak around. Dallas Fuel, they have no idea that this is happening. And Gesture and Prophet are so good at being able to hide and come from weird locations. One of them zips in from the front, one of them zips in from the back, and they collapse on your backline so often. London Spitfire do not need a Genji player to be able to play like this. It's actually incredible the value that they get out of just these 2 players.
It's got to be so frustrating. You look at Chips' perspective, you die in like half a second right there. You you look over to the right, you're already dead.
Absolutely unreal. And here is Dallas Fuel trying something similar. They go for the rollout and they split Mickey off in this direction. So there's just one player rolls out this way. The other 5 are going towards the point. So London Spitfire have no idea this is happening. They don't know that Mickey's behind them. So the collapse is going to come in with Mickey this way onto Badoshan, and Effect is going to go from this direction. So this is essentially a similar kind of thing. Your Winston's hiding, and then as soon as the trap is sprung, they're going to try and get onto that Zenyatta player. Instantly, they delete Badosin, which is fantastic for them, but they make the crucial mistake of staying in the fight and actually pushing up with the rest of their team. So Chips Hyen ends up getting deleted over here, doesn't have Seagull or Effect or Custer to peel for him. He gets taken down, 2 clipped by Prophet, and the whole fight goes awry. So although Dallas Fuel have figured out the right ways of opening up the fights, they still have to work on their development later on. So they've got the right ideas. It's about fleshing it out now.
Well, we know we won't see another control map unless it goes to Game 5. So how do you guys see this playing out? Does London get the 4-0 they're expecting today? Hollywood's coming up next.
Definitely potential for it, but again, I personally believe that you cannot count Dallas out. When they are 2-0 down at this moment of time, they still have potential. Josh is a little bit more pessimistic. Again, that's just his personality. Don't take it against him as the way he was raised, but we won't comment on that just yet. Again, I personally do feel like Dallas, they can come back from this if they really do step up. Again, I think cleaner diva play with Seagull, peeling more for the backlines. I feel like that's one thing they can work on from now into those next 2 maps.
Los Angeles, anyone out there want to see a Dallas Fuel comeback? Who wants to see our London Spitfire lock this up 4-0? Seems about 60-40 to me, guys. That's going to do it for our halftime coverage. When we come back, we got a big Game 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back, my friends. The London Spitfire have a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Fuel, but it has not been free, because let me tell you, the Dallas Fuel, they have been contending. You know what? I personally love when they throw a little bit of trickery into the mix. For instance, going back to Lee Jiang Tower, they picked May, completely shifted the momentum of the round, and they won it. So I hope to see a little bit more versatility from the Dallas Fuel moving on in this match. But we got a lot more coming, so let's go ahead and send it over to our casters, Simler and Hex.
Right here, man, right here. Let's go.
Got it? You got it?
Boom. All right.
Buzz, line it up.
We're getting there, man. We're getting there. It's all a work in progress. It's fine. It's fine. We got 2 more stages to get that down the league. No worries. See, it's like the teams, man. You know, they've got to figure out how to keep Chips and alive. You know, we got to work on fist bumps. How do you save Chips?
Yeah, one's definitely more important than the other.
Saving Private Chips, the new movie for Dallas Fuel.
You know, they really did try there, too, because Dallas switched over to a McCree to make sure that Prophet couldn't just abuse Chips constantly, which is what was happening. And then London did something really smart. They said, Prophet, just worry about D.Va. Get Seagull out of Mac. You don't have to worry about Chips anymore, because we have this giant monkey named Gesture we're going to send in as well. And so McCree can defend against the Tracer and keep Chips alive, but then you saw Gesture going in. He's getting Chips. He's getting Rascal as well. So they're trying. They're really trying, but Chips died 14 times in the last map. First map wasn't a whole lot better. They just don't have a way. And this is how London abuses teams. They did it to Seoul as well.
Yeah.
It's not a Chips problem.
It's not that, yeah, it is a game plan for, you have certain teams, right? Okay, game plan, kill the tanks. Okay, fair enough. The tanks get melted every time they try and take a fight. London are very, very good at just sending Gesture and Prophet in there to double team whoever the backline is for their opponent. And so in this case, yeah, we saw it from Jaehong, and well, in this case, it is Chips who's on the receiving end of the hate train.
Yeah, even when you have a Lucio back there, he's only got the one boop to get someone off of him, and it's not enough. I mean, you boop away Gesture, the cooldown comes off, and he's back in your face again. It's this problem that you just can't get rid of. It's a Winston infestation. See what they got going here on Hollywood. Of course, London will be on the defense first. This is a map that they like to run a little bit of Junkrat on. Junkrat's become back in vogue on Hollywood over the last stage or so. So good at protecting the cafe up top. You go in there, a small room. You can just fire nades at the ceiling, and eventually you'll kill someone.
So I like it. We have the screens here. Perfect, you know, for the 4 points. This is where murder is about to happen, and we're all going to get it on film. We're going to get it all on film.
I think we need to get a Hollywood transformation that looks exactly like the Burbank Studios lot we're on. I would play that map 24/7.
Yes.
Yes.
Because, well, that would just be catharsis, right?
We have a coffee shop. We've got a lot of stuff going on out here. We definitely get a map model of the Burbank Studios. Burbank, Goldshire, same thing.
Exactly. Well, we are going to be talking about the coffee because they are definitely going to be looking to get a cup here. Dallas Fuel. London Spitfire, they're just back there sipping already. Enjoying life, reading the paper. It's a nice sunny day.
I try this volley right outside the door from Bedosian, but they send their tanks out first, so no damage taken there. Rascal in the skies on the offense. Custom will play the Mercy in his pocket. See where this rotation comes. It can be very good. If a team wants to set up defensively and passively, they're going to be in the back line. And also, Farah is the natural counter to Junkrat.
It's like trying to use streamer tricks against Seagull. He's not going to get caught by that. You kidding me? Get out of here. Rascal, though, that's a big one. Nearly managed to get the clip there.
Hey, look what happened in the kill feed.
No, are you no, really?
Oh, jeez. Chips goes down first. Gesture. Rascal falls soon after. We'll see if a resurrection can come in. I don't think he died in a decent position, though. Seagull now out of mech. Only 20 HP. Will be going down momentarily. The Dallas first push is deflected.
Oh, man. And we even got the angle there at the end. Ruthless. Ooh, y'all. That is weird. Now he is the one. So he absorbed Seagull's powers. That's how this works, right?
Yes, exactly. It is just like Highlander. Christopher Lambert coming right around that door.
There can only be one.
You took the one Scottish guy and you had him play a Spanish guy. Sean Connery's playing a Spaniard in that movie.
It makes perfect sense, Hex. Don't knock it.
Yeah.
And if you guys are wondering, go watch Highlander. It's a classic. It's amazing. All right, let's get into this now. Chip said he is so scared he doesn't even want to leave his room, but he's eventually going to have to make his way out here because his teammates need him. And sure enough, as soon as he peeks his nose out, Prophet's there hunting, or rather birdring.
Well, Prophet is still hunting. He has a tire out looking for it. 2 people die on the ground. Prophet died while channeling. Will get Rascal, and then gets brought back to life. Rascal brought back as well.
Still a man advantage here, though. This could be a favorable situation. Never mind. Doshin finds effect. Rascal is just trying to pump some rockets into this choke point, and they are making progress here on the point, but Gesture is now alive. He's got Primal as well. Trance is there. Rascal fully committing the barrage to Profit, and that's solid on his part. Looking for the follow-up on Gesture as well. This is definitely shaping up nicely here for Dallas Fuel. They should be able to pick up this point.
Yeah, Gesture had to get out. He got a pack, though. He's in full. Oh, Custa dies to this self-destruct. That might be enough for London to come back here. London doesn't give anything for free.
Never that. It is really their calling card. True capitalists.
Still fighting here in the cafe on the point. The tanks are trying to push them back. They don't necessarily need kills. They just need the space to finish off this cap. London making it difficult on them, though. Gesture should be back in this fight momentarily, but probably too late. Yeah, with Profit and Bird Ring falling, Dallas will successfully capture the first point of Hollywood.
It always feels so touch and go. When you've got London, I mean, it always feels so touch and go in terms of, are they going to back off? Are they going to let them take the point? Are they going to reset? And it's just like, no, the fight will go on forever, it feels like, until finally Dallas Fuel, and there's a reasoning behind that as well for London. They're just burning more time off that clock. They're giving Dallas Fuel less time to work with to push this payload to the second point.
Well, we are on the Westworld phase here of Hollywood, which means Widows on the field for both teams. Rascal for Dallas, Bird Ring for London. Who can get the better of this? Really such a big deal. Chips dies first again. Mickey will follow. Brought Chips back, but that means no resurrection available for Mickey. No main tank presence, have to back out.
Just picturing Chips like, no, let me stay dead, please. Poor guy. All right, Effects though, will find Bird Ring. Oh, what a shot from Rascal. That's as clean as it gets.
Get baited.
Looking for the follow-up as well.
They got the Widow, so they knew that the Mercy Resurrection was going to come in. A great 1-2 combo there to take them both down. Now London has to back out. A lot of progress should be made through the streets. And you want to get it halfway through so your approach can change. You can go to the far right flank and not miss out by just getting it through the mainstay of Hollywood streets.
Excellent. Oh, nearly gets the one clip. That's a hard one to be able to pull off. Bird Ring going to get topped right back up again by Nuss, who's got the wings out right now. Falk is going.
Effect has Bird Ring in his sights.
They need to set up here for an actual fight on the payload, though. That payload is making a lot of progress, and everything panning out nicely here for Dallas Fuel. As Effect, he's on the home hero. Doshin finds him, but the damage is done in terms of Dallas Fuel winning that fight. Wu Hyul still on the high ground, kind of dancing around, looking for a bit of a delay, but it's not going to happen. And that's been a great thing here from Dallas. They have not been pulled off of that cart. That cart has been constantly making progress this entire time.
But the great adjustment has been adding Mercy into this mix as well, because it keeps Chips alive much longer, and even in the off chance that Chips dies,
you bring him back.
You bring him back to life. It's perfect because early they were harassing him with the the McCree or the Tracer, so they switched to McCree, and then they started harassing with the Winston, but Winston's never gonna kill him if he's got a Mercy in his pocket. It's just never gonna happen.
Ah, beautiful. I'm so happy we have that on replay. Observers on point.
No one expects that angle from a Widow. That's so smart from Rascal.
Payload keeps on moving right now. That exec is going to be happening. He's making great time through LA traffic that's almost unheard of. So now Rascal, he's switched over to the McCree, looking for a shot, going to get robbed by Effects, and they are constantly just keeping the fight rolling here. Dallas Fuel, they do not want to give London Spitfire a chance to breathe. Bird Ring caught in the corner, will be able to barely make it out. Back to Gesture's bubble.
They are getting pushed back now, though. Dallas was trying to go in, but a couple of kills come in. Profit will fall to Chips, but that should not be enough to completely reset this fight. They're gonna have to wait, come back in here. London had popped wings in that fight, so they're able to survive through it. They've still got Transcend to use, but Dallas with a huge advantage. They're gonna have both of their support ultimates going forward.
Could get the zoning Deadeye going here as well. As soon as the tanks are in there to create some space, maybe get that shield bubble down from Mickey, so that Rascal can stand out in the open and just channel that ultimate. Yep, get rid of that barrier and now get in here, look for the angle.
Mickey's got the door locked down. He's gonna force out a Transcendence. That is the one support ultimate for London now out. They popped wings. Here comes the follow-up Transcendence from Custa as well.
Rascal has got to think. He's just so focused right now on trying to catch Profit. Eventually he does. Doshin's gone as well. Effects doing work, and they are making this happen. Dallas Fuel, minute and a half left on this clock. They've got a good stagger going on London Spitfire. Both of the tanks are back, but the focus fire is here with the Discords as well. Gesture can't survive forever, neither can Wu Hyul. And this is it, the moment. They roll it through. No! How? What? 0.02 meters.
Maywall comes out, still contesting the point in the ice block. Will get people back out here. Nuss pops the wings, but he's dead immediately.
Are you kidding me? How do they keep getting bodies on this point? There we go. Woo, y'all. Just not able to make it in time. Well, let's go. We actually have the Dallas comms here, setting up the attack on point A. Let's hear how they did it.
They have a hit scan? I got a jumping top. They have a hit scan, no tracer.
Yeah, Junkrat tracer,
Alright, tracer. That means they have no hit scan.
Okay, I will make space for you guys.
Left, shift in left. Going in. I'm flanking left side. Where's tracer?
I'm making space,
Tracer.
Excellent. That's it. You know, reading the situation. This is what it is, right? Getting into that fight, you scout it out. Great. Okay, now we know what we're going up against. And instantly they just started adjusting how that push is going to happen.
I love setup comms. It's so interesting. You can see the reaction immediately there. As soon as they call out no hit scan. Yes, Tracer's technically hit scan. She's not anti-Pharah hit scan. So Rascal's able to take a more aggressive stance up top. Doesn't have to hide behind the building. Knows exactly what he's going up against and just decides he's going to just bomb out the cafe. They do just that. Nice play there from Dallas. Also, I want to highlight that Custa only died once there on his Mercy the entire map, and that keeps Chips alive. That keeps everyone in a better spot. And we talked the other day about, you know, Custa is often thought of as a Zen main, but on his stream he's actually mentioned that you need someone who's only going to play Zen and then someone is the versatile healer. They have to be able to play everything else. I think Custa's got a very good Moira. He's got a good Zen and an Ana of his own. Chips, of course, known for his Ana, but in this meta right now, you got to focus on the Zen. You got to have one guy who's only your Zen player because it's so mechanically demanding.
You have to get that timing down with the orbs. If you're going to be hitting those volleys, if you're going to be hitting those skill shots, you need to be able to have that timing just in your hands. You can't be stopping to think about it. And well, you know, Chips has been dying a lot, but we have pointed out the reasons why. So.
Yeah, well, giving him a Mercy now is the next iteration of Dallas trying to keep Chips alive. Because like I said, if you're sending Gesture back at your Zenyatta, if he's being pocket healed by Mercy, you simply don't have the damage output to deal with it. And eventually you're going to eat enough orbs that you die. So it's a very good adjustment again from Dallas. Also the added benefit of now you can put Rascal on the Pharah, and he's going to have all the support that he needs. Well, Prophet defying expectations.
Turns out you don't need hit scan. You can blow her to bits. The flash cannon going to work. Custa does get the res off though, so Rascal will be back in the fight. Bit of a spicy situation there for effects, but he's able to blink back. Never mind. I was about to say to safety. Instead he blinks back into Birdring's waiting arms. The crushing bear hug. The peace has been restored.
You see the power of the double mines, and it's the reason that Junkrat is now even partially viable versus a Pharah Mercy. Early when he had one mine, he didn't have the mobility to get near enough of Mercy. Now you can use a mine, get in the air, and your second mine will be the killing blow.
Wings are out now. They did not waste any time there. Nuss hoping to be able to make the difference as Nuss finds the kill on Custa. But Mickey will trade, removing Gesture. The raid boss is gone.
Nuss takes down the combo by himself. That's what the value of those wings are. He's up there, he can fly, doesn't have to worry about a target to fly to, so just pulls out the gun. Effect does take down Birdring, and insta-res though, and he gave his own life for that one. This should eventually go London's way.
And now it's about just staggering onto that point. Seagull with no mech will not live for long. And then Birdring denies Chip Sayan away back in. Custa looked like he was trying to get it back in real quick there, but not gonna happen. We will have London Spitfire now working their way across the town to get that exec to work.
And that's a fine desperation barrage right there, because Rascal knew he was gonna switch. Far on the second point, not very good, because everyone can take the high ground, get closer to her, and take her down. They knew they were gonna switch up, so why not go for a desperation barrage? Maybe you get two and you can pull the fight back. But, as I mentioned, we're in Westworld. Effect now on the Widow. So a small switch up here. Maybe it's because Rascal was still alive and they definitely wanted to get their Widow in position on defense.
Rascal's Genji is no slouch either. That's something to keep in mind. That's a beautiful, perfect tire there from Prophet. Point blank on Mickey. Removes him. That's going to be a very difficult res for Custa. Looks like Custa wants to see.
Going for it.
If he's going to be able to make it. Yep, there's the bait. Wuhyol goes to check. That's not happening.
He's going for it. In the meantime, Prophet continues to kill people. He got Chips. He got Rascal. There is a D-Mech as well.
That's one of those shots where you're like, okay, there it is. Instead, it's Effect to find the headshot on Birdring.
This one isn't a resable spot. We'll see if they get over there. They're going to send tanks over there. Perfect. Wuhyol's up front. He's got the defense matrix. There's no way you're going to be able to punish that resurrection attempt.
Super clean. No time wasted from London. Progress continues to get made here. as they're about to round the bend. High ground occupied, however, by Dallas Fuel, so they can try and drop at will, try to initiate this fight. Gesture is out there. Of course Gesture's out there. Ultra aggro, trying to tase these squishies. Infect is getting heal botted, though. Gonna make it difficult to find that kill, and Gesture is just getting pummeled.
They're gonna pop wings too, now trying to finish off this final point. Gesture still knocking around the DPS, never letting them get in the position that they want. Gonna deny pack control too. Gesture is so good at that.
Oh, buddy, Rascal, it's just like there's nowhere to go. Gesture's got him in your sights.
Gesture is a Winston with a Tracer mentality. He is just relentless. However, the swing back comes in. Dallas able to get several kills off their own Primal Rage. Clean up there, Dallas holds.
Dallas hangs in there, despite Gesture and his antics.
Uh-oh. Yeah, they got him. They got Nuss on the retreat. Trying to hide. He got away from the missiles, but not away from the sniper rifle. Now back to the drawing board. Despite all of this progress, you have to go through the gauntlet again.
But you have both ultimates up now for your DPS. So Birdring will be able to see through walls. And Prophet has got the tire. Prophet did get value out of the tire last time, removing Mickey, so we'll see if he can manage to get in position to put it to good use again.
Yeah, Effect was sitting in the bubble, so he had no worries about the sniper duel. Now he's going to have an ultimate of his own. It should be the advantage for the Prophet, looking for a tire.
Chip saying, talk about overkill. But the res is there. That is going to be the bait. The attempt, and there's the follow-up. Birdring gets the punish. Costa doesn't make it out this time.
I mean, look, Dallas tried to do the same thing London did. They dropped a bubble over that resurrection attempt. It's not going to happen. Rascal gets one kill, but has to back out with only 12 HP. He's going to look for his Widow target here. Again, Pocket Widow, not a target you want to go after. Rascal in trouble.
Rascal now. Birdring doesn't even care. I am a sniper, but I also moonlight as a machine gun artist.
Machine gun artist, huh?
Hey, she's French.
I've heard someone being a shotgun surgeon, but a little bit different. Mickey and Effect will fall. This is finally London taking second point. It was slow going for them, though. Only 3 minutes left in their bank. Remember, Dallas did finish with a minute left in their bank. I'm just always so impressed from yesterday to today how London gets their resurrections off. They've got a very set play call that when they're going for the res, the Mercy never goes alone. There's always at least one tank, often two there, and that's how they're able to get value out of the Mercy that other teams simply can't pull off or replicate.
Big advantage here for Dallas Fuel is that they are pulling ahead in terms of ultimates. Doshin doesn't quite have the trance yet. Chip saying getting tased, he's getting pocketed this time, but that means that those healers aren't there to back up the rest of the team, and the kills roll through for London Spitfire. Custa, oh man, feeling the heat. He barely gets back around the corner, but again, Gesture, he's relentless.
Custa's done such a great job of staying alive during this, and they get a couple of kills to stabilize. Meanwhile, Siegel's been stalling out the card. He's going to bail. That could have gone a whole lot worse had they lost Custa in that fight. But Custa had his Valkyrie ability, able to stay alive through there. Here comes Mickey in the jump, and Mickey's alone though, but that's because he's got Primal Rage. You know he's safe.
Now Gesture nearly makes it out of there intact, but gets picked. Mickey there with the kill. Mickey just taking his time with it. Gonna go right in. Maximum damage from Mickey. Doshin though with the volley, gonna remove him. And now it's Prophet on the hunt. On high, doesn't seem like they realize that he's up here either, so there is the element of surprise.
Looking for the target that he wants, doesn't necessarily want to just use his on this D.Va. Trying to get the last little bits for this pulse bomb, but when you're at 95%, you know that when you land, you're going to have the pulse bomb anyway, so you can try to set up plays. Prophet doesn't see what he's looking for, though. It gives up that top positioning.
Preemptive wings. Well, he spotted out Chips. Trance is gone. This could be big. As the pulse, not going to stick. The noon, it's going to go through. The Birdring brought back to life here by Nuss. Gesture, once again, getting focused. He will be able to back out in time.
So low reinitiation though. Siegel's gonna have to get out of his mech. The beautiful bubble just completely quarantines that self-destruct. And now London sees an opportunity to go in.
It's finding it very difficult to get into the back line though, having to change up this game plan. Gesture though, sees his opportunity, sees his moment. There's the fire, the focus coming through, and Prophet working together with Wuyol and Gesture. Run over Dallas. They all died so close together, though, that it is going to be a pretty big wave coming out here for Dallas to try and stall this out. It's not one at a time necessarily. It's Siegel trying to do the best that he can to delay, and Mickey waiting on the corner goes in. Now it's on Birdring here. Can he actually get something out of this Deadeye? Yeah, he can get effect in the back.
Not quite over yet as Prophet is still alive. He's going to have a pulse bomb as well. Throws it over to the corner, which is where Zens naturally hide. A nice dodge there, though. Dallas still in good spot. The spawn advantage is absolutely enormous. Nuss is going to use his Valkyrie, though, can bring someone back to life, and Dallas continues to fall.
Yeah, Mickey goes primal now, desperate, but he is getting discorded. He will get melted, and now it is going to be London Spitfire moving forward and collecting 3 points, but with less time in the bank than Dallas. Dallas really put up a very solid defense here.
Yeah, Dallas's defense has been good throughout several different maps. They will get the extra minute bump. 2:01 on their clock. 1 minute remains for finishing under a minute for the London Spitfire. That means it's going to give them 2 cracks at point A. And the point A defenses we saw were pretty stout, given that it's Hollywood point A. They did not rolled over early on. This used to be one of the most defensible point A's in all the game until the offenses. I mean, the ebb and flow of Overwatch switches up so often. We'll see what they want to run here. I think you definitely have to run Mercies on both sides just so you don't have to get the full resets when you do lose one.
Really comes down to whether you want to have that boost or not, right? Movement. Right now the reses are working out because if you're killing that backline every single time, you get the Mercy in, you cancel it out. Birdring looks like he wants to stay on hit scan again just because Rascal keeps going for Farah, but looks like Rascal's 1 step ahead here. Rascal already changing it up, got the junk in play this time around.
Yeah, a little bit of a different game plan, really smart. I mean, Tracer Junkrat defense is very good because Tracer's always able to scout where the other team is, where that blind fire has to go for a Junkrat. Are they rotating around right side, or you can completely shut it down by just spamming nades there? Hey, that's my car.
Yeah, Hex, you're rich in spirit.
Not even that. What are you talking about? I'm impoverished in spirit.
You're rich in heart.
Again, not even close. We can run through all of the Captain Planet elements, and I've got none of them.
Well, what do they have here? Dallas Fuel, they got a chance. That's what they've got. 45 seconds left on the clock. And, well, Rascal finds the first kill on Doshin. The res will go through, protected as well there by Woohyal with the D-Matrix. But now it's a matter of actually getting in here. You've only got 30 seconds left. This is pretty much one good push here for London Spitfire. Can they win this fight outright?
It's just one push. They want to see where everyone's set up. Birdring is going to either stay on the ground with his tanks or rotate up top, but that's a long walk away. He is moseying that way, trying to take a different angle here.
Flanking McCree, it's a thing.
Well, they know it, though. They know exactly where it's coming from.
It is going to be the push. Coming through here as a unit. I like that coming in from Mickey, trying to hit the flank with the hook, trying to throw things out of sorts for London Spitfire. Yeah, Birdring hunting, uses the flash, misses it, and so Effect is going to have free reign here to run amok. And they won't even get on the point!
Reset the sign, burn it down, reprint one, because that is inexcusable.
London. Mickey can't even believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time I've ever seen Effect smile. So that is how big of a, well, in the biz, in the industry, a C9 as we call it, not getting on the point when you totally could have gotten on the point. Of course, Cloud9 is now the London Spitfire. He's got to check their Twitter. He's got to reset that sign.
Just somebody go give Jack a hug.
That
okay?
was inexcusable.
Go give the guy a hug.
Everyone's alive. They popped wings. It's just a second too late, and that is uncharacteristic mistake. You know what? It's not really, though, because London's done it before. They've done it before. Best thing to happen to Chips all day. Gus is happy.
Chips still traumatized.
Yeah, Chips.
He's still recovering from earlier.
Chips forgot how to smile.
He's had it Winston out of him.
Oh, jeez. That's rough.
Well, no parking anytime. Hex, move your damn car.
I'm rich, though. I mean, the license plate is my parking permit. It says I'm rich.
Yeah, look at this guy, too. I guess you just get, that's how the world works, especially in Hollywood.
Do you think his name's Rich, or do you think he's wealthy?
Oh, that would be a fast one. But then wouldn't it be Dick?
Yeah, right. Tricky Dick.
There you go. All right, London Spitfire. They're going through here on the defense. It's on Dallas Fuel not to repeat the errors of their opponents and get on this point. They've got a minute 52 here to take the fight to them. And Real Rascal just going straight to the Farah. A few orbs to the face there. Doshin definitely going to be hunting. He's going to be the main form, although Birdring is on the McCree this time as well. So they have a bit of an answer for Rascal, which is why Rascal's playing these very closed angles now. And that's Effect, just trying to poke and prod.
Yeah, he was all alone, had a Junkrat in his sights, but then the team turned, and so they knew that he was going to get support. Effect smart to bail out there. Just going to take the slow ride up. No one expects the elevator Tracer.
The high ground Tracer. Going straight in, though, for the kill. I like it. Jester dropping dangerously low. Jester under pressure. He still gets the kill on Mickey somehow and survives. Nuss survives, too. They can't get a kill. Dallas Fuel finally. Seagull has to step in and get the job done.
Well, here's where the resurrection on the offense comes into play. They're able to bring Chips back to life and not full force here for London. but they should be able, but again, that's the huge time bank advantage they have. Now they're down to 60 seconds and they're still making progress on the point.
Yeah, they're still having to run back, and it's a slow run as well if you're McCree. Your boots are jingling and jangling, but Nuss will be able to make it back in time. Rascal, though, with the barrage! Money takes down Profit. Birdring will cancel him, but still, damage is done, and that definitely favors Dallas Fuel in terms of keeping the pressure up, although Birdring decides to step in and ruin the party for him.
Profit immediately back to life, and right now, though, London has lost their anchor tank. Jester is out of the mix, no Orisa on the point, so now they don't have a shield to hide behind. 20 seconds left. Dallas gonna take this chance to reboot, reassess the situation. They have Transcend and Primal Rage, and they should know that they just have to touch the point. London apparently didn't get that memo.
Just touch the point, Mickey. No, it's not time to go and get a latte. It's time to get on the point, mate. Chip saying on the edge, still holding on to the trans. That's some bravery there. I love it. But Profit finds Rascal out in the open, and Chips decides now's the time to take the fight to him. Let's get in here, start making some progress on this point. Effect removes Gesture as well, weakening the defense. And it's Awuhial now, the big beefy mech, to try and hang in here for a while longer. It's not gonna happen though. Gesture is brought back to life to continue the fight.
The tank play has been ridiculous. There's only a couple bodies left alive. It's just Gesture, Profit, and their Mercy on the point. Profit very low, getting bullied off. Gesture will finally fall as the focus fire comes in, and London getting pushed off.
The desperation tire, but it's not gonna be good enough. Dallas Fuel will find the victory in the end, get that W. 2-1 the series. Dallas Fuel still trailing behind, but that's a whole lot better than 0.
London's not going to make a lot of mistakes. If you want to be a top team, you have to exploit the other team's mistakes. London with a big one. Dallas comes through and converts it. This was Nuss earlier taking the combo action into his own hands.
Dude, Battle Mercy, it's a thing.
That 4-0 that London really needed and wanted, now off the table. Dallas still with a good chance of winning this series. We got map 4 right after this break.
On alley.
Rotate, down, rotate PC.
You have
We're PC if you need to. Chips. They're back. No!
Oh!
Let's go. Good job, boys.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
everyone. This is Zoe, and London still has a shot at that #1 seed for stage 2. And we will find out later today if they get it. It will depend on the result of the Valiant and NYXL match. During halftime, I talked to the Spitfire about the importance of that top spot. And they said there is the obvious reason that you have to play one less match that day. The players will be having more time to prep, and also they will be well rested. But the more important aspect of this is that the #1 seed gets to watch the semifinals. He gets to actually observe his potential opponent and will get a feeling of what kind of shape their opponent is in, what strats he will be running, what compositions they're playing, and that can give you quite a bit of an advantage. Now, of course, I had to ask them, Spitfire, will you be hiding strats in the semifinals if you don't get that #1 seed? They laughed at me. We're like, nope, not really. We can't really afford to hide strats. The players on this stage all playing on such a high level, and that would be just way too risky. So they will be bringing their A game for both the matches if they don't get that #1 seed. But to be honest, if you remember the stage 1 finals, well, they managed to play 3 matches that day, and they came out on top and became the champions. So let's see if they can repeat the action or not. For now, let's see how they will do on map #4. And for all the action, we're heading back to Semler and Hex.
All right, thank you, Zoe. And so, Willie, you know, yes, okay, first seed, big advantage going into the playoffs. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Hiding strats, don't really think so. You kind of figure out the strats. And so what I want to see here is just, you know, the big strat for London so far this series has just been crushing that back line, crushing Chips. We're going to get a, you know, camera view here on Chips. You know, he's kind of just, you know, looking down. Aww. And it's been a tough game. But at least Hollywood, Chips, you know, turned that frown upside down because he started surviving more at the end. His team managed to get around him and actually keep him alive in the fight towards the end of that map. And I think that's what made the difference in the end.
It's very helpful always having a Mercy with that Zenyatta. It's some of the best peel that you can get in those situations. We're going to go to Route 66. You don't always see a Mercy on Route 66, so it's going to be interesting to see if the strategy of like just bomb Chips keeps coming back into it. Dallas could run a lot of different things. They have their work cut out for them. London's still looking to win the series, and they are undefeated thus far on Route 66. They're very home at Big Earl's.
I mean, it's a 24-hour service. Why would you ever leave?
Well, because there's no refunds.
Jeez.
You know when you try to return that gas you bought?
Yeah. Excuse me. I mean, dude, those planes, man, they guzzle gas like none other. So naturally, they're going to set up shop. Naturally, they're going to hang out around here. And well, we're going to get the full fly through as the teams are setting up. Going to be curious to see what we have. Seagull is on Symmetra, but don't worry, that's just a troll pick.
Yeah, that hurts my feelings. As we roll through the lovely Route 66, second point, very similar to Hollywood in a lot of different aspects. You see a lot of Widow battles here, a lot of high ground. Got to get your tanks up there to deal with it. Route 66, actually a beautiful drive. I drove Route 66 on the way out to Los Angeles. Route 66 technically ends at the Santa Monica Pier.
Yep, the Cannonball Run. The Cannonball. That's all I care about.
It's a fun drive.
Route 66, how quickly can you get from New York to LA in a car?
The Cave of Mystery.
Pretty damn fast.
Sounds ominous and mysterious and like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah, right? I mean, just giving out the art for it, too. You're going to find a guy that's going to have a mask. It's going to be the person you never expected it to be.
Let's see who the London Spitfire really were. Oh, it was Cloud9 all along. Old man C9.
I just loved Mickey shouting at the top of his lungs, C9! That was perfect.
Oh, good old Cloud9. Now the London Spitfire organization, different roster, same old issues of not getting on the point, but that's something they have to forget about. Defensively, they've got a Widowmaker on there. There's a Mercy on the other side of things, so Mercy for both sides. And I think largely this has to be just to keep Chips alive. Look, they have both strategies now. If Chips dies when you've got Rascal on your Tracer duty and you've got Custa in Chips' pocket, then something else has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Exactly right. They have made adjustments, and so we have to see are they going to be able to pan out here. Effect on the hunt already. No surprise, but Birdring has got the Widow on the other side, and so Effect trying to be careful with his angles here. Does not want to just open himself up to a headshot, although that was a nice one on Notion to start.
Dodges that volley. Tanks are playing different levels here, really smart. They're just going to jump the backline on Effect. Is the peel there for him? Yes, everyone comes back for him.
Yep, super sick. Tanks are there, slowly but surely, and really, Effect feels like he is going to be the linchpin as far as Dallas are concerned. If the rest of the team are there to watch the backline and counter these dives, Effect, you're the one who has to turn up. You have to find these kills. Big plays Oh, yeah, boy.
Oh, that was so beautiful. He had Badoshan locked down, so you knew that Gesture was going to have to come out and get some pressure just so that Badoshan could leave. Gesture comes out, right, hits him right in the head, and then he knows that this is the moment Badoshan's going to try to reposition and just plunks him there. Beautiful Widow play from Effect on first point. And it all starts because they kept Effect alive. Even on the dive, the peel's there. Everyone rotates back. They don't lose anyone at that dive. Great adjustment so far from Dallas.
There we go. A bunch of juicy targets to launch some micro missiles into. Seagull taking a bit of a poke. Will be able to get topped up by his heels, no problem at all. In Effect, still hunting for the angle. Way off on the side here. Badoshan may be in for a bit of a sad time as Birdring gets caught with the recall. Now they know. Now they know where he's playing from. Element of surprise has been lost.
Yeah, Effect's going to have a difficult time finding an angle here. It's just a much better defensive sniper advantage. You see Birdring take down Rascal, instantly resurrected. Now Birdring is not down, will take down Effect. Now he can play wherever he wants.
Now Birdring has free reign. Just launches himself bodily in the air. Rips Rascal's head off.
Yeah, this can be a tough spot to come back in on a Widow. That's why you see his switches come up. Yeah, there's almost no way to pressure this as an offensive Widow. Where Birdring is right now, he can always drop down behind the ledge. You're just never going to get a great angle. So Effect switches to Tracer.
Going into the dive mode. This Rascal's on the Genji now as well. So pushing forward. We will have the Discords, and well, we've got Prophet lurking in the side angles here. Chip Sayan is alone! Chip Sayan is alone, but Custa's there. He goes for the trance as well. Both support ults used here by Dallas Fuel. Perhaps the desperation play there from Chips.
Well, that's just an effect of being killed all day, because he did not need to pop that. He still had the Mercy in his pocket. He could have got Pulse Bomb, but that's when you want to transcend out of a Pulse Bomb. Just a little bit of fear got in there, but they do overlap those support ultimates and win a fight out of it. The worst case scenario is overlap the support ults and lose the fight, so at least they get some benefit out of it. However, now London's going to have their own Transcend to come back on the point, and you need it on this point because it's such a hard, small choke to come through.
Exactly right. Well, we will have the Diva Matrix there to try and create the space, and Doshan kind of hanging around on the edge, getting plunked down to about half HP, gonna get caught in the corner. Rascal in the meantime is removed, nuts the trance, getting held on to just a little bit too long there. Custa, however, gets run over by Woo Hyul. And Prophet, you can still see him hunting for targets one after another.
Dallas lost both their supports in the middle of that engagement. That was all she wrote then, and now they're gonna stagger Seagull as long as possible. That's about as long as Woo Hyul wants to look at that. We'll give him the coup de grace. Prophet, I mean, I just want Jaws music up every time Prophet's on screen. Always crouching so they can't hear his footsteps. He's always lurking in position, and he's pressured out so many support ultimates.
Well, Custa's decided to change over to the Lucio now off of the Mercy. They just go launching their way in, and well, now there aren't going to be any reses. The pocket heals are gone, and the focus DPS is so good that even Lucio can't keep you alive. Man, don't get off that payload, though. Effectively push that through.
Yeah.
3 meters left, he nearly got it.
I mean, it's a valid strat against a team like London, who is sometimes a little oblivious to the objective nature of Overwatch. They've been punished in the past, but Dallas has to find a way to keep their supports alive. That's twice now that both supports have died right next to each other. Obviously, they're the focus targets. I mean, this is nothing new in Overwatch. You always kill the healers first, despite what the Geneva Conventions would tell you. Chips is nearing his own transcendence, though.
No, he's played it patiently enough. Doshan will have his as well. So they are very even right now in terms of support ultimates for both of these teams. Leaves it up to the heroics here in terms of who's going to come up on the DPS side of things for either of the teams. With Prophet, you can always count on him. He is Mr. Reliable. There's the stick. There's the kill. Mickey is dead. But Effect trades it. Both Winstons are dead now.
Yeah, that allows Rascal to actually pop his blade here. He's able to get to the back line. He's got a Lucio down, waiting for this Transcend to dissipate. It will keep them alive for the moment.
In the meantime, Seagull manages to find Dosha. They're still trying to keep a presence here on the point. Decides to go in. Birdring deep, but the focus fire is clean. He gets overwhelmed immediately, and Dallas Fuel, come on, will succeed in getting the second point.
They got it. Really nice peel again there as the Dragon Blade went to the back line. Everyone collapsed there. Even the Tracer was there to get some damage on the Genji. Ended his life before he could get that first kill, and the dash reset means he's unable to get out. Some harassment onto the back line. Unable to finish that kill is Effect.
That's spicy.
I'm a little surprised he kept his Pulse Bomb there.
Could have just stuck it. Maybe trying to hold on for it for tanks.
Some of the best Tracers will just chuck that thing out whenever they have it. It's very strategic to hold on to it, maybe looking for a better target. Because I guess even if you get the kill there, what does it really matter as far as the objective goes? So
Seagull, man, he just wants to get into this fight at some point. we have the sound barrier getting thrown in as well. London Spitfire right now trying to do the best they can to hang in here.
After Birdring already went down too, so they're gonna commit this ultimate and not get a whole lot out of it. They're doubling down, support ultimate comes in, they really want to win this fight. There's Chips finally falling in the back line. Profit cleans up, will get Seagull as well with his pulse bomb. Dallas has to regroup.
Yeah, Dallas has to regroup. They have to reset at this point. Custa, skating on the walls right now, just trying to fight against gravity. Turns out that Birdring just moves right on through, slicing him to bits. So London Spitfire continue.
All right, so we're at 90 seconds left for this last push. Very likely going to end up into an overtime scenario here. Chips nearing a Transcendence, and because London used everything in that last fight, that is the small advantage they have. Transcend can be very good here. We're in a closed quarters, hallways kind of situation, but if you Transcend to be aggressive, the defending team will just back off and wait this one out.
Exactly. Gesture decides now's the time to get in here, but he is down, dropping dangerously low, nearly there to get the heals from his teammates, but it's not going to be good enough. Rascal looking to hack him to bits. He starts off strong, finds the one, going for the second, and he gets him at the end. No escape. And Woohyall gone. This is shaping up nicely here for Dallas Fuel. A full wipe, and that payload now getting so close to the finish.
Rascal's just had a superior Genji so far to Birdring and even cuts him down. Birdring's gonna have a chance of redemption though, as he's got his own Dragon Blade up. We're reaching the final fight here. Transcend comes out. Birdring's looking for targets in the back line. He wants to get his concussion out early and now decides to not go after it. Even though that cooldown was down, they lost Profit. And even when you're Genji, you want your other DPS with you. He's going to backline, gets booped away.
That's exactly what you keep talking about, Hex. So difficult to get in there on that Lucio. When you've got the blade, you can get canceled out. And so solid work, sound barrier thrown in here from Kusta now, trying to keep the Dallas Fuel alive. Seagull still got that self-destruct to throw in as well, but hey, he can just run you over. That works fine too. Profit though, with the double kill on the back line. This fight's still going.
He gives them a chance, he gives them the breathing room that they need. A self-destruct is going to get them off the cart just momentarily. Seagull's gonna get remacked here, back on the point, but that pulse bomb switched everything around. Profit with the clutch.
The clutch pulse, because it's so far to run back in here. They're only just now making it back into the fight. Chip saying with the desperation, Trance hoping to keep his team alive just a little bit longer here. The tanks still haven't even spawned for Dallas Fuel. And so Custa not long for this world. That is sure. Birdring this time will not be denied. Goes in a chopping. And it will be a hold in the end. London Spitfire stopping him with less than a meter. Get out.
Just meters away. This is Profit in the back line, and this is what he does. Oh, doesn't even hit it. Doesn't even hit it. Ends up with a gift of 2 supports. He's a little cheeky smile. All
I
part of the plan.
I am pretty good. That's right. Yeah, I am pretty good.
All part of the plan. See, if I put it on the ground, they'll expect someone to be sticky. They'll try to go like, group up, and boom. That's how you get it.
But it all works out. Woohyall as well, man. Woohyall just doesn't die. It's actually crazy how he is perpetually the lowest guy in terms of deaths on this map.
A player in the Houston Outlaws, hasn't seen play, Mendo Kusai, used to always tell me
Mendo lives?
Yeah, well, he tried to convince me once that the optimal strategy for Pulse Bomb is to actually throw it on the ground. He's like, yeah, people know how to react when they stick. They get away from it, right? And you're only going to get 1 kill. But if you throw it on the ground, sometimes they're confused and 2 people walk over it. I'm like, I don't know about that, Mendo, but hey, he's a better player than I am.
You just got the beeping going. It's the panic mode, the adrenaline shot, where you're like, oh God, there's something going off here. I need to get out. And maybe you do run right into it.
Well, I mean, when you get stuck, the best strategy is to just stand still. You know, like when you get lost. Just stand still, someone will come find you. But if you get stuck and you start moving around, your team doesn't know how to get away from it. You're walking into your team. I've seen McCree somersault into their team and take out a whole squad because he just didn't stand still. Like, you're stuck. Take that moment, deal with life and the crushing idea of mortality, and then respawn. Get back into it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the beauty of it here, you know? In terms of Overwatch world, you're back. There is nothing. Nothing matters, actually. Nothing matters at all. All right, Rascal is going to be, we're going to see a little bit of variety here from Dallas Fuel. Rascal on the Sombra, so might as well be triple support going into this, although he is certainly going to be trying to play her as DPS.
Attackers incoming.
Yeah, offensively, running out with a double hit scan here. And Gesture on the Roadhog. I haven't seen a ton of this from Gesture, but I mean, I think he's more than capable of running everything. Looking for kind of this pick composition. This is also the anti-Sombra composition. I mean, you got a Roadhog, you got a McCree. They definitely scouted that Dallas likes to run a Sombra here, so flashbang, hook, any sort of CC really shuts down a Sombra before she can translocate out.
Hey, he spotted her in the back as well now. Birding on high, just looking for pot shots. And well, gesture, yeah, that's it. Take a breather, keep yourself alive. Healers will be able to do the same, and well, they are gonna have to back off on this fight a little bit, at least Dallas Fuel. Rascal still working his way around in the back, looking for a target, and he's right on top of Birdring, but he gets focused too quickly, has to translocate out.
Let's bail out. Beautiful hook there, fadeaway hook from Gesture, takes down Custa. There towards the end, and this cart will continue to make progress. Rascal now with the EMP though. Everyone needs to die and reset right now.
Oh, he finds the perfect target. Doshin exactly who he was hunting for. He'll get both of the supports here. Rascal showing up with the goods for Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, without really the numbers that they needed, but it was Rascal and Effect who worked so well together since they've been on the roster together. The EMP cleanup, it's always going to kill the Zen, and I thought they needed to reset. Rascal had other plans. They were in the right position to take down the supports, and even if they trade there, that's great for them. So Dallas will continue to hold. Bye.
There you go, bye.
Should be rezzed up. Yeah, rezzed up immediately. Prophet's able to take down Rascal. That's why you run a McCree and a Roadhog here, because now you don't have to worry about EMP. You don't have to worry about hacks either.
Effect is just hanging out right now. Could go for the blink over onto the high ground if he wants. Looking for it, but Prophet's going to be ready and waiting for him. That's not where you want to be if you are a Tracer.
They're waiting for reinforcement. This is exactly where you want to be if you're a McCree as well. And if they ever get Seagull out of mech, then this Deadeye will come in immediately.
Oh, there it is. The juicy targets. Chip saying out in the open. Fair enough. Mickey offers himself up, however, to the Peacekeeper, and that is going to be it. Prophet with a big kill there.
Well, it's really smart to be on the high ground and pop it, and then if you don't see anything, drop to the low ground. You have such limited mobility, but changing your angle like that can be very effective. Meanwhile, Effect comes in, takes down Birdring. Rascal in the backline will eventually get punished. So far, this Dallas defense has looked very stout.
Stellar, but there it is. We get a demonstration of why McCree is so good at dealing with a Tracer or a Sombra. Flashbang into headshot. Anything is dead. So now it is, I mean, they are getting stalled perfectly though, down to a minute 25 here to get this payload going to the second point and save Seagull. He doesn't even care. Yeah, shoot me in the face, it's fine. I've got a mech.
I mean, a couple of bad tank ultimates though from Dallas, so they have forced out the Primal Rage. This is also a missed timing here. That's a sound barrier you would have loved to keep. That fight had already been over. Point was taken. Sound barrier comes in from Custa, who thought they had more time than they did.
Yeah, looks like it. And we will have the change coming through. Custa onto the Mercy now. Rascal swapping over to McCree. Or it's going to be the Widow.
Yeah, it's just a really tough Sombra map, especially on defense. Offense, you can maybe swing it because you can pick one of these angles where the big packs are. Defensively, you want to be holding a little further back generally, so you don't want to play super aggro. So that makes sense to get off of that. Also, you are just going to need a Widow.
Tell me more, Hex.
Well, it's better on defense. You need a, look, you know that I think the best way to counter Widow is with your own Widow. You don't even have to win those battles, but it's much less resource intensive than sending 2 tanks and a Tracer after it.
Perfectly done, but Rascal, it turns out that jump pack is on a pretty short cooldown when Gesture is pissed off.
He gets in there and just been... Now, you don't have to kill the Widow, but now he's out of the mix. You don't have to worry about Rascal when he's being treated like a balloon.
Oh, there it is, the 1-2 combo.
Popped.
Birding with the headshot doesn't even do it. It goes both ways as well. Body shot through though. Still have Effect, trying to fight the good fight, but he gets caught by Prophet in the end. Mickey taking a bullet to the face. He's not going to be too pleased about that one. And Seagull on high, cut off by Prophet. Payload continues to make progress forward here, and Prophet just really looking to cut them off at the heels, and it's just not going to pan out for Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, this stage in particular, it looks like the tanks are not necessarily on the same page for Dallas, and that was such a good thing to see from them in our first match of the week with Dallas. They looked like the tanks were playing as one. This time it's a small thing, but Mickey goes in a little bit. Previously, you see Seagull peek out like, Mickey's, oh no, he's dead. He already walked down there. So they're just not working in tandem. An interesting switch here is Mickey's going to go to a Roadhog here on last. Seagull still on the Diva at 86%.
Oh, there you go. And the follow-up onto Mickey as well. Mickey's Roadhog is no slouch. He is definitely dangerous with it, but we'll see if that is the answer as Rascal, 2 body shots, or the body shot, the headshot at the end. He drops Birdring.
He was getting damage boosted as well, but that's not going to be enough to stop the onslaught of the London Spitfires. They continue to push forward. Birdring makes an interesting switch onto the Soldier 76 here. Of course, long sight lines, very good for Soldier 76 to be able to deal with. Also, if they can get him on the high ground, then General Widow spot the America truck It's almost a game over. It's like a Hanamura spot for us.
Oh, perfectly done by Prophet. He spotted him out of the corner of his eye. What a hook from Mickey, though. Cancels out the Deadeye immediately. Custa able to bring Rascal back to life, so we will have a Deadeye possible for Dallas Fuel, but never mind. Prophet deletes him before he can make it happen. And so now it's on Mickey, who will get overwhelmed. And they're falling one after another here. Dallas Fuel gestures, got his eyes on Custa, and Custa flattened.
Custa all alone there. Just such a brilliant multitude of small plays. The self-destruct, they all hid inside the Winston fishbowl. Now desperation time as the Doomfist comes out to try to just stall. Prophet zoning Deadeye. Prophet's been unstoppable.
Yeah, Prophet has just been hitting shot after shot, and they will not be able to challenge it. Dallas Fuel getting run over here on the 3rd point. London Spitfire pulling it off in the end.
Dallas has definitely improved over the course of this stage and over the course of their last couple matches. Still some stuff to work out as far as tank coordination. And look, it's all going to look a little lackluster when you compare it to London. London is one of the best teams in the league, one of the best tank duos. You got DPS duos. Who are you going to stop?
I swear, Prophet, he's like, yeah, I'll go shake their hand. Hold on, I just want to see if I got play. If I got to play the game. Yeah, just got to put it out there.
Did I get play of the game?
Did I get play of the game? Okay, yeah, good. Order is restored. Handshakes ensue. And Dallas Fuel, yeah, they can't feel too disappointed. They were able to make adjustments. They were able to actually adjust to what London were doing for them. We saw them take that 3rd map. They made it competitive on the fly. That's so important because you are dealing with one of the very best teams in the league. And so Dallas, they continue to impress. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for them.
London's always going to test a team's versatility, strength, and coordination, and I think it's actually good for Dallas to have to face London to end out stage 2. It shows where they're still vulnerable. They've improved. There's still a lot to work on communication-wise. I think this might be a glimpse of what we see in the future. This should be the roster that Dallas continues to try to mold and improve upon.
Absolutely. And so, London, their hopes continue for the playoffs here at the end of stage 2. They are the stage 1 champs. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear what the desk have to say about this match and the one that follows.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
London doesn't get the clean sweep they're looking for, but they still get a 3-1 victory, and that is good enough to keep them in the running for the #1 spot come playoffs tomorrow. Welcome back, everybody. It's Puggy here at the desk. We got Bren, we've got Sideshow, we've got 2 more games to talk you through. Now, at the half, we were talking about Dallas looking much improved in control. It's a very tight game number 2. London had a 2-0 advantage, though, and they had a chance to lock things up going into Hollywood. Dallas didn't let it happen. This team is ever improving. Today, they shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Across the board, Dallas. I mean, I said as well in the pregame, or the halftime, I should say, that there's potential here for Dallas to actually make a comeback happen. They are good enough. They have been working on their main issues, was that communication, which thankfully they've solved. Now they've picked it up. Rascal and Custer's calls are now pretty much cementing the foundation for this team's success. And, I mean, they had opportunities. They had great opportunities. They forced it to the time bank in the final moments here against London Spitfire. All around. I mean, was this a kill at the start of the game?
Yes.
That we saw?
The kill right at the
This is
beginning
ridiculous.
of...
Good morning, Rascal.
Yeah.
Look at this. That's so unfortunate as well. That opened it up massively as well for them.
It really did. Yeah, because I think London Spitfire were struggling quite a bit on their offensive attacks on Hollywood A, and they just kind of got that one gifted to them because Rascal accidentally ran into one of those Junkrat balls. But we saw that when it came to the time bank, it was a whole different story, and they really were struggling to get anything going. I'm not really sure why London tries such slow compositions on Hollywood. You've got a minute to work with. Why are you messing around with a Junkrat and a McCree? Just play dive or something.
Yeah.
Well, you saw the McCree shining in game number 4, but let's go to the final moments of game 3, though, because we saw Dallas with the opportunity to lock things up. They were able to do it. What were we seeing?
Basically the Junkrat. So initially Rascal was running the Fire, this time running the Junkrat. It was forcing London to play a little bit more slow, and realistically they should have been playing full dive. Now Dallas were really exploiting this hard. Mickey was on the Roadhog. He was getting some flanks in as well on the sides, but they were just building this up. But this was the game-winning moment right here, and oh boy, it's a little bit tragic to look at.
Yes, it was a little bit. When it came over to the London Spitfire side of things, they had a lot of difficulty. This is, of course, them being able to defend it right at the very end, but when it was their turn to attack, all stepping off the payload. That's a C9. That's what you call those ones.
That's a C9, boys. I know there's one man somewhere who's either smiling, giggling to himself, or is very disappointed once again. There's Jack.
He is. I know he's had to scrub off whatever the record was previously. I just love that the league record is 3 days.
That's actually a bit silly, isn't it?
You know what? Why that is? It's because we have 3 days off broadcast as well. Those are 3 days.
That's how it works, boys and girls. All right, so Dallas takes game 3. Now we have a 2-1 series. We're loading up Route 66, and again, Dallas is looking pretty good. Strong attack coming in, and its effect this time on the Widowmaker, opening things up on point A.
Yeah, he had a great performance actually throughout the series, and this is just nuts. The guy, we've always known that Dallas Fuel individually have some of the best players. We've seen it on previous teams, but their system did not work well to allow them to succeed. And now that they've got the teamwork starting to come together, we see Rascal and Effect really start to shine. This is a deadly DPS duo if you give them space to work with. And London Spitfire were struggling to go toe-to-toe with them at the end.
This play, though, won the game for the Spitfire.
That was it. The game-winning moment right there. Profit coming in clutch. And I mean, I feel we've been quite Dallas heavy so far in the discussion, but honestly, London, these guys, you look at Profit, you look at Birdring, you got contenders for the very best DPS in the league. They are that good at what they do. They're so flexible. They can run a variety of compositions. You hardly ever have to sub them out at all for that reason alone.
Yeah, they are an incredible duo. That's why Rascal didn't get too much playtime. Gesture as well, fantastic. These guys, when they look towards the playoffs, NYXL got pushed to 5 maps against Dallas. These guys were able to close it out in 4. Is that a fair metric? Is Dallas Fuel the measuring stick of the playoffs?
I hope so. I don't know. I don't know. It's been really interesting to see Dallas, though, hanging with the top dogs. And we know we're going to see London tomorrow. The question is, at what point in the day? As you look at the Stage 2 standings, remember, #1 seed, you get that bye straight to the grand finals. The 2 and 3 have to face off in a match before that. And currently, you look at that map count. If New York loses, London could jump to the #1 spot.
Yeah, they're very, very close to it. Looking at that, like, again, just a 1 map difference, essentially, is what it comes down to. This next game is going to be very imperative when it comes to that deciding that #1 seed.
Did you guys enjoy the game so far today? Pretty good time here in the Blizzard Arena. Well, we're going to crown our first player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. Who is it on the final day at Stage 2? Well, this time around, we're giving it to Birdring. So tough. Prophet Birdring. Gesture, where do you go? Birdring. His stats are just so ridiculous.
Yeah, very much a hard carry performance, I think, throughout the games. He never really had a bad map in general. I mean, again, it's what I was saying before, whereas he can play so many different heroes to such a high level, it's very rare for a DPS player to be so accustomed on that many roles and still perform when your team needs you to.
Playing against his hero as well, actually, the whole reason that his name is Birdring is because he styled his name up.
Not because he's flipping the bird.
No, no, that's
that was Prophet.
But he styled it after Seagull. You know, Seagull, Bird, Birdring. There's some kind of connection
there is a connection there.
It's loose.
It's a bit of a reach, not gonna lie, but
Google Translate from English to Korean. That's what did it.
It's pretty amazing stuff. Birdring, 22 of his 52 final blows on the supports, shutting down the heals for the Dallas Fuel today. London gets their win. They're in the playoffs tomorrow. Up next, we find out where will they be seated, because the #1 seed currently, New York XL, is taking on Valiant, who's looking to play spoilers once again. We'll be right back.